So back to, I mean, there's not much that I do that's as regimented as you. Like my food, like I try to eat probiotics. So like I just learned coleslaw has a bunch of probiotics. I've known that yogurt. So I try to get yogurt without any sugar, but I mean, I still get yogurt, but whatever, 10 grams a serving or whatever it is. And I could eat sugar. I mean, yeah, you feel it somewhat, but I'm not like super sensitive like I used to be.
But
like,
what about the candida? Doesn't sugar feed?
Yeah, well, the candida that I have is in my blood, so it's not in my gut anymore. So once it's in your blood, you can't get it in there. Like if you ever saw Last of Us on HBO, which you probably don't watch TV.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it's good. And again, that's a good thing, you know. But they talk about it in there, and it's a cool theory about how like these zombies, the infected, just because of global warming and our reliance on wheat and flour, that in Malaysia, of course, like really high populations and moisture and stuff like that, and it started there. It started with wheat and a flour thing, and it got into people, but it got into their blood, and everybody was like, you can't get it out, which I learned afterwards that, yeah, you could get it out of your gut, but once it's in your blood, you don't get it out of your blood. And there isn't anything out there. I mean, everybody's going to tell you some snake oil witchcraft thing. I mean, yeah, eat blueberries. That's the best natural detox, kind of stuff for mold. But, right now I have stachybotrya poisoning from the mold in the house with the Remax.
It's annoying.
Yeah. So but it's starting to go away, and it's just building your immune system back. So you're eating stuff that's maintaining and keeping you going. And I mean, there's a lot of people that, I don't eat as good as I can. Like Damon, him, like he'll harp on me, hey, look, what are you eating? But I'll learn from him. So, now I'm putting cottage cheese in my eggs, I'll put spinach, and I mean, this has been ongoing, and I dip in and out of eating. Like, there's a healthy thing always in one part of my day that I'm eating, and then I'll eat like ziti, like fat ass, thing, and I'm fine. I mean, yeah, you get a little tired, but it's like when I was a kid, the same thing. I got tired after eating pasta or pizza. It's just flour and shit like that.
Yeah, I think the nutritional side was pretty huge. I was getting the body bio and the fatty lipid tests and mitochondria tests, and then every 3 months meeting with this nutritionist that worked with my doctor, we'd alter different things in my diet to fix the cells. So that was a huge thing, because like the cell's healthy, the body's healthy. So like every 3 months I was doing that.
Yeah, I mean, and you do it.
And then they'd be like, hey, you need to take some more evening primrose oil, or you need some more egg yolks, or you need whatever. And then 3 months go by, and I'd do that, and then we fix another thing.
So how did your tests come back when you were doing that kind of stuff? Because I know my zinc was low, and I've been taking zinc now.
Well, yeah, this is more like fatty acids, like your lipids and stuff in your cells. And like, it was interesting because I have a cook, and I told her this is all about being healthy. And then all of a sudden my nutritionist was like, hey, someone poisoning you. I was like, what are you talking about? And there was this something, I forget what it was, in my test. And she goes, what's your cook cooking with? Like, that's interesting. She's like, oh, I've been cooking with rapeseed oil and all these oil. I was like, dude, I didn't tell you to cook with that. Like, cook with ghee, butter, tallow. Cook, like, don't cook with oils, because you heat a seed oil and it becomes a super toxic thing to the body. And that was literally showed up on the blood work. She said, what the hell is this?
So seed oil, any seed oil, like olive oil?
Well, every single one's going to have a different heat point where it starts oxidizing and becoming bad for you. I mean, my nutritionist, she says cook like bad seed oils, the oxidized bad seed oils. She'd rather you eat a bag of Skittles than eat that. But it literally showed up in my thing, and she saw it. I told my cook, like, dude, I don't, like, why are you anytime you change anything, you have to get approval from me first. Yeah. Because she was literally like making me worse. But like, that's how easy, like, she saw that, corrected it, boom, So for me, that was a huge,
olive oil,
huge step. I mean, olive oil is great, but I don't cook with it.
Okay. Because I use that in butter. Like that's, and I love using butter. Again, like I don't have, like I could tell when I have reactions to certain things. Actually, you did a fast, didn't you?
Oh, that could be a whole episode in of itself.
Well,
I did a 7-day dry fast. No water.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
No water, no food for 7 days.
Yeah. So every now and then I'll get up now and again, I'm not in a spot right now where I want to gain weight. Like I just want to hold off. So I was eating like 3-4 meals a day. And when I was working, because I was working I want to make as much money as, now, and not in a way of like trying to catch up, or not for any kind of consumerism, which is another toxicity that our culture, you're young, but like I grew up during the 80s with G.I. Joe and Star Wars and Transformers, and how we're indoctrinated to get like a push notification from Amazon that something just dropped, like that's your dopamine.
And I love checking the mail.
Yeah. Well, I do for checks, business wise, but, no, that's another thing. Like I've just unconditioned myself from, just those kind of trappings. And it's not like, I want new cameras and, whatever. And even with these, it's like, okay, I'm not going to buy it brand new, like get it off of somebody who used it for half a second, but trying to do my part. Another thing I always say too, and I know this is kind of real quick, but like even I feel, well, I'm not even gonna go there. I was gonna say how like we feel like the planet with like a parasite, what you do. But no, sticking on the point though and stuff like that, I just day to day, it's really just trying to stay within that, get outside, see stuff. Like like get out, train your eyes on something besides a screen. Like even driving in the car is good, but going out and just sitting in nature, like just staring at like a mile, 2 miles away at like a mountain. And like, I even if I can't climb it and it's hotter than hell right now in Vegas, I'm going to chart early in the morning. I'm going to chart when I'm better and my foot's good, right up, like where I'm going, and having that goal, because like that's the other thing too with this, like sitting in whether it was the group, whether it was when I first got diagnosed, I'm like, my head is like, fuck this, I'm gonna cure this, like whether it's me or for everybody else, and I think now it's more like for the community to do it, but like my head is like, find a cure. Like everybody's like treat, and that's our culture. It's like to treat and keep you coming back to the doctor, keep the insurance money coming in, keeping that subscription of life, and I tell people too, like, if we were on the Oregon Trail, we'd all be dead. We pay to play, we pay to play now. Like our population is huge and we don't deserve this. Like there's nothing that you deserve. And I don't mean deserve this in being poisoned or infected or whatever you want to call it. I mean, you don't deserve to live. Like if you're sick, you used to die back in the day. So you need to fight. If you're just going to sit there on the couch and, I live at home with my parents, I smoke weed for inflammation and just get by. You got to fight.
Yeah, nobody's coming to save you.
No, and that's like,
you
even
save yourself.
And people who I advocate for are those people who are hungry. They have that desire to get well, and it's for me, and that's what kicked in. Is like, if anybody's going to do this, it's going to be me. Like my own pompous attitude, but like I've always did that. Whether it was, I never went to school for computers. I had a software company. I hired the right people. If I have the tools, I could build anything. And that's what we did, and same thing with this. It's like doctors are, and this is what we'll do in a doctor episode, is to me, doctors are tools, and not in a bad way. You need a certain wrench. You don't I'm not hanging a piece on the wall with a wrench. I go to an immunologist for, fixing my immune system. I go to, an orthopedic for a physical injury. I go to somebody who has plenty of experience with SOT. Sloan has the most, and that's why I stay with him. As much as you can get aggravated with the process, you're going to get aggravated with any process while you're sick and you're going through it. Yeah. And I try to tell people that I refer to him, don't call his office, call me. Because you're going to be bitching and moaning at him for at least 6 months until you start feeling an inkling of better. And I'm like, leave them alone.
Well, I think that's the one thing, that's a big thing that you have, is that you're a fighter. So you're going to go at it, and you're going to attack it, you're going to angle it, the doctor's not going to give you any bullshit, and you're going to keep going until you get what you need. Whereas there's a lot of people just in general in life that don't have that attitude, and then they're mad. It's like, well, if you don't have enough input, you can't be mad at your output.
Yeah.
And so that's where it's like, sometimes I feel for people with Lyme. And then at the same time, it's like, no matter how much fatigue you wake up with, you have to find some kind of way.
If you don't have the will
to just push like a little bit that day to get a little bit closer Otherwise,
No, you're dead, and you would have been
what I mean?
dead. We live in a society where, like, it's 100 in hell outside, and it's 70 degrees in here because I just cranked the AC.
Yep.
And we don't realize we are in. And I saw this in another show. You don't watch White Lotus. In the second season, the kid goes, they're in Italy, they're eating some gelato, and he's like, "Look, we live in the best time. Like, look what we're doing right now." And you can open up the fridge and get whatever. I could go to the store and get whatever food I want right now from anywhere in the world, whatever season it is, it's there. So, like, you have to make it. You have to go after it. And if you don't, you die. And that's just it, or you're wishing for death and you're hanging on and you're just existing.
Well, and that's the question that I struggle with, though, is what about the person that doesn't have any money?
So there's ways. I mean, so for me, my recommendation for anybody, and again, this is my journey, my path, I say SOT. Like, first thing, there's money to get SOT. Like, my buddy didn't have any money. We did a GoFundMe, but boom, I had like enough money for 2 SOTs within a couple days. Yep. So whether they know it or not, I could, put a presentation together. I could get somebody, funding, or even now that I was just told that there are funds set up with these doctors for SOT. And then also one of the guys just submitted it to his insurance, to the VA, and they paid like a third of his SOT.
Nice.
So there's ways to do it. Yeah. Pfizer will give you IVIG. Pfizer, if you don't have insurance, let's say you didn't have your insurance, which you should have it, like for whatever stuff is with everything that you do, start like navigating it. But if you don't have it and you're flat broke and you don't have any disability, you could reach out to Pfizer and they'll get you IVIG.
I think that would be an awesome episode, a whole episode on tools and strategies of if you're financially limited, how to still get what you need.
So, and that's kind of what I want to do if I do a clinic or something like that, is not charge people. Like, there's so many people out there, making money off people with Lyme disease. And, like, there's that place in Florida where they charge people $30,000 for them. What's that?
What's that place?
$30,000 just to go get IVs. You're getting vitamin C. That's all they're doing.
There's a lot of IV places that make a shitload of money.
Yeah. And they don't do anything. Like, you don't even know. There's people taking like NAD and NAC combos at like these IV places with people full on infected, and all you're doing is boosting the immune system to kill somebody. So you might feel like a little bit of good while you're sitting in a relaxing chair, but over the next few days, your immune system's just going to work on you and killing you. Mm-hmm. So like, these doctors don't understand like how this works. And, anybody's just like, "Hey, I want to boost your immune system." I'm like, okay, bye. I'm bouncing. And people are making money doing that. So, I mean, for me, it's like, look, there's enough stuff out there. I can make money doing whatever. I don't need to make money off of like making somebody feel good because they're miserable and want to slit their wrists. And I've been there, so I have a chip on my shoulder with that. And, people have offered like, "Hey, look, you know what? Can you do this, this, and this? I'll pay you." Or like, "Can I live with you?" or something. And I don't want anybody, I enjoy being, in my space, and I feel good in my space. Like, I was dating somebody, and this is over the past few years, and you mirror back people, when you're in a relationship and stuff like that, like whether they're sick or not, or they have different stuff, and you start realizing it. And now, although I'm not doing what I want to do in the way of work and, stuff like that, you kind of sit back and you're like, okay, I don't want anybody in the house. I want to just like enjoy this. And that was part of being able to go and work and outside of the house and doing physical stuff, which also shows me my limitations as, the older you get. But you're around people, and then you come home. And I always had that too with business. Like, I would go into the office and I built this business, and I had all these people in there. And, well, that's off for right now. It's fine. These two are still running. So we'll wrap with this.
Cool.
But anyway, that's my day to day. I mean, like, So anyway, okay, we have plenty more to talk about. That's only one episode that was supposed to only last 30 minutes.
That could be split up into.
So I'm gonna break it. I'm gonna break that up in a few parts, and then we'll
short attention span.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to do. Is I wanted.
But
anyway,
there's some key episodes.
Well, let's do this. Let's actually have something right now where we say, "Hey, listen, we talk to the camera, you talk to that, I'll talk to this," and say, "Hey, listen."
Yeah.
Here, you follow after I do it. So we'll be back here soon. The TJ and AJ show. And we'll have more stuff to give you guys, more ammo. And thanks for tuning in.
Again, we will be back. TJ, AJ. And also let us know if there's anything that you want us to cover, any specific points we can do episodes on, because we love to talk and we love to hear our own voices, but at the end of the day, I'm not here for me. I'm here to see what
we both are
other people. So we want to make this impactful. We want to make this a value podcast for people who are watching it. So let us know what you want us to talk about. Let us know if there's anything that we said that you were more interested in, and we can base some episodes purely off of that.
And thanks again for tuning in.